Hi everyone, welcome to another week of Check It Out, where I recommend titles that you can learn from, connect with, and explore. This week's title is Turtle Under Ice, and it's by Julia del Rosario. This is a contemporary fiction novel in verse. It's the story of two sisters, Ariana and Ro. When we meet them, the sisters are living under the same roof, but feeling like they live completely different lives, and they are separated by their own emotions and feelings, and they are just trying to learn how to reconnect with each other. We gain insight into each of these sisters by chapters that are told in alternating perspectives. So here we have Ro, and then the next chapter is from Ariana's perspective. So we have that here. When the sisters were younger, we learn a little bit about their past, and when they were younger, their mother suffered a fatal heart attack, which Ariana witnessed, and it really impacts the way that she deals with her grief. Both of the sisters and their father are, moved through the grief that they're feeling at the loss of their mother, and they all handle it really differently. So I thought that was a really interesting perspective to offer, that everyone moves through the grief of losing someone that they love differently. There's no right way of dealing with it, but everyone is unique, and sometimes we find compassion in others, and sometimes we see ourselves in others and we connect with them on that level. But the two girls in this book are having trouble connecting as sisters and uniting over their feelings of loss for their mother. And this is all kind of stirred up again because in present day, when this book is taking place, their father has remarried, and he is expecting a new daughter when unfortunately their stepmother miscarries and they lose the baby. So all of these feelings of grief are kind of coming back up. Not that they ever really left, but they're experiencing them all over again. It's reigniting these feelings about how they felt when they lost their mother, and they're both moving through it really differently. Ariana is turning to art, and this book is kind of driven by mystery. Like, the plot is driven with a bit of a mystery attached to it, which I thought was a really unique thing to tie all this together. She treks out into a snowstorm and doesn't tell anyone where she's going. So it's up to Ro to kind of find her physically. But there's this kind of underlying emotional feeling of trying to reconnect and find her emotionally, like reconnect their sisterly bond. Which I thought was really unique and interesting. The fact that we get this book told in alternating chapters makes each sister's personality very vivid and come to life. I could identify with both of them, depending on, who was talking. And I just thought it was a really beautiful and delicate way to talk about how everyone deals with grief in their own way. And it was also an excellent examination of what it means to have siblings. So a lot going on in this book, and I really, really enjoyed it. Themes in this book are grief, art, and sisterhood. And I do have some read-alikes for you, though I don't have the physical books here with me. Another book that deals with grief or the loss of a parent, but has a lot of humor in it, is Gary Schmidt, Pay Attention, Carter Jones. So I want to recommend that. And then I wanted to recommend another novel in verse, and this one has a lot of poems in it, and it's called Voices, The Final Hours of Joan of Arc. And what's neat about that book is that it's poetry and it's verse, but it's also each of the way that the poems are created create a concrete poem. So they create like a picture with the words that ties into the overall story. So I thought that was super unique. So I wanted to recommend kind of two books that tie in with this. So with that, I hope you found something to book up your week. Thanks, everyone.